subscribe and press this bell icon to never miss another lecture video. Hi, welcome to JL GATE ESC lecture. We are in lecture number 28 of signal system, and this is your continuous time system. We are in the module of continuous time system. Sir, in the previous video lecture, we got into discrete time system and we understood a response of discrete time system. And again, you came back here in continuous time system. I'm came back here for continuous time system because I'm going to finish classification of continuous time system. Actually, what initially I was planned ki first I'll finish continuous time system, then I'll get into discrete time system. But there are a couple of things which you will forget once I leave the continuous time system. Once I leave the continuous time system, and again if we get into discrete time and again start from the very beginning, so that will be kind of complex thing. So that is why I prefer to approach like this. Look here, I'll finish classification. Okay, the one L is missing here, I'm really sorry for that. So this is classification. Okay, bhavnaon ko samjho. Classification of continuous time system, this is the first slot. We'll finish classification. Okay, I can't tolerate this classification. Okay, in the first slot we'll right now from this video lecture onwards we'll finish classification of continuous time system, where we'll study about time invariant, starting, dynamic, linear, non-linear, causal, non-causal, different kind of systems in continuous time domain. Clear? Once we finish this, then we get into the same system. We'll get into the same system but in discrete time domain. Okay, same linear, non-linear, causal, non-causal, time invariant, same system analysis in discrete time domain. Then we'll again come back to the continuous time domain and understand the convolution. Because look, everything I'm preferring continuous time system. Again, after finishing convolution, we'll get into discrete time domain. Again, we'll discuss the same concept in discrete time domain. So, sir, why you are coming back to continuous time domain to make understand a concept? Because in continuous time domain, in the time domain, in the T domain, in a team domain, time domain, continuous time domain, it is quite easier to understand than that of get into discrete time domain. Okay, so I always prefer to make you understand in like when I actually do the offline teaching. At that point of time, I go my usual method. I complete the entire continuous time domain and then we get into the discrete time domain. But here in online, I'm feeling a bit like losing a lot of data. That is why, in order to not to lose a lot of data, is to share a lot of things, share a lot of ideas, a lot of concepts in a very stipulated amount of time. Like it's a very intact of time. उसके अंदर हम मुझे काफ़ी सारे बातें कहने हैं, तो इसलिए मैंने इस तरीके के प्रोसेस को माना है. So this is how my module is going to be until and unless by this fifth subject will be done by signals and system. Clear है? So we'll get into convolution, continuous time domain, then we'll get into convolution of discrete time domain, then we'll analyze a lot of beautiful important concepts, varieties of concepts for gate and engineering service point of view. Okay, now let's start with the classification of system in continuous time domain. Now, classification of system in continuous time domain, actually we are going to study about 6 different classification. Sir, what are these? Static and dynamic system, time invariant and time variant system. It is also preferably, a lot of people used to write in this way, time invariant and time variant. Okay, we're going to use these shortcuts. Then linear and non-linear, then causal and non-causal, then stable, then unstable. Okay, we'll go into detail analysis. Unstable. Okay, unstable, we are going to have a detailed analysis of all of the system types, invertible and non-invertible. Very important. Each and every type is very important. Okay, now let's understand what in this video lecture I'll be analyzing only the static and dynamic, and from the next video lecture I'll get into time invariant, then linear non-linear, then causal non-causal, stable unstable, then in the next video lecture in invertible non-invertible. I think every video lecture will going to have one types each. I think, yeah, that's going to happen. And after finishing of this classification in continuous time domain, we will again get into discrete time domain, and we're going to analyze static and dynamic for discrete, time invariant for discrete, linear non-linear for discrete, and so on. Okay, now let's start with the starting and dynamic system. Now let's start the analysis from the classification, that is what is a static system and what is a dynamic system. It's a very simple thing. There is the system is here, and you are giving an input, that is x of t, and it is giving you output, that is y of t. Now we need to know whether this system is a static system or a dynamic system. I'm again repeating my statement. We need to know whether this system, I'm talking about this system, whether this system is a static or dynamic. So how to know that? Always remember, static system property of a static system is the response, that is this yt, the response is only depends on present input. It does not care about any past input, it does not care about any future input or output, it does not care about any present output. It always depends, present output, I'm saying past output. It doesn't depends on past output, past input or anything. It only depends on present input. Okay, and if any system is not depending on present input, listen to this statement very carefully, because it might create a kind of illusion, like confusion while you get into causal and non-causal system. Because causal definition of causal is definition on causal and non-causal. In case of non-causal, the definition is once your system is dependent on a future input, okay, any future quantity, then that system will be regarded as non-causal. So you might get confused. Don't get yourself confused, because once when you get into causal and non-causal ना, आप static और dynamic भूल गए होंगे. ठीक है. So before getting to that thing, in order to make you comfortable और so that आप ये concept को भूल ना जाए, उसके लिए मैंने एक trick बताता हूँ मैं. Please remember this trick. Static मतलब the meaning of static is स्थिर चित. Like for example, स्थिर चित मतलब static is स्थिर होता है ना. Like जैसे गौतम बुद्ध, you can take the example. गौतम बुद्ध, he is a static, like he always depends on the present instant of time. It is a, like you can say स्थिर बुद्धि वाला, like sannyas kind of person. Okay, so starting system is a sannyas kind of system जो कि वर्तमान में जीता है. Remember there is this a beautiful movie which is called Dead Poets Society, and there that teacher is making explaining to their students about a statement that is known as carpe diem. I'm not pronouncing it properly, but the meaning of carpe diem is, please remember, this is a very beautiful thing. Carpe diem, I don't know how it spells. Carpe diem means seize the day. Seize the day means live in the present instance of time, like seize your time. So it's a very beautiful movie. Every student must watch that movie. The movie is called Dead Poets Society. Please remember that carpe diem means seize the day, means you should live with the present instant of time. You should enjoy the present day. मैं अभी हूँ उसके. So that's the property of a sannyas. That's the property of static mentality person. So having a static mind is a very good thing. Okay, always remember. So clear, static matlab clear, who always depends on present input. Now what is the definition of dynamic system? It's a very simple definition of dynamic system is, if your system, please look here, if your system is not static. That's it. Please remember this much only. If your system is not static, then the system is dynamic. Now let's solve a couple of examples. There you will get a clarity. Look here carefully. Y of t equals to t plus x square of t. That means if you put any value of time instant, it is, look here carefully, it is depending on that time instant only. If you put t equals to 1, here t will be 1, here t will be 1. If you put t equals to 2, here t will be 2, here t will be 2. That means x is square of 2, like x of 2 ka whole square. So whatever the, so there will be no effect is happening, there is no effect actually on the expression. So this is your, I'm sorry, let me remove this. So that means you can say this system is a static system. It is only depending on present input. Clear hai? What is actually this is actually you are giving an input x of t, and in the output, please have a crystal clear clarity on this concept. Question समझ के static लिख लिया, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि you need to understand the question. What is this question is actually? So you are getting yt, which is t plus x square t. Okay, that means you are getting h of xt, which is nothing but t plus x square t. Clear? This is the response. So what is this question is asking? This question is asking about yt, about h of xt, about the response of the system. And from observing the response of the system, we can say कि it is only depending on the present input. सर मेरे को थोड़ा भी confusion हो रहा है सर. Okay, now there is another system which is saying कि output will be t plus xt square. Now look here carefully. If you put x of 1, it will give you 1 plus x1. If you give x of 2, it will give you 2 plus x of 4. Now look here carefully. If you take a number line at 1, 2, 3, 4, you can look here carefully. At the time, this is your t, okay? At time instant 2, at time instant 2, it is saying कि give me a input at time instant 4. You understand? मतलब आप 2 बजे आप इनपुट दे रहे हो, और सिस्टम बोल रहा है कि नहीं मुझे फ्यूचर में जाके आप 4 बजे इनपुट दो और आ जाओ. You know, क्रिश का वो जो था ना, वो कंप्यूटर, यूज़ दैट कंप्यूटर, गो टू द फ्यूचर एंड 4 बजे वो इनपुट दो और अभी 2 बजे आ जाओ, देखो मैं आपको आउटपुट दूंगा. सो इट इज़ अनडिजायरेबल ना. सो दैट इज़ वाई इट इज़ अ डायनामिक सिस्टम. I'm giving you so much movie examples. Please don't like blame me. Actually, I love watching movies because we learn a lot of things from there. Because it's not like, and a lot of people, if you are losing any kind of concentration, also it helps. Like a lot of my students are also gets motivated from this movie examples. So I'll share a couple of good things while I'm delivering you lecture. I'll recommend you a couple of beautiful movies you must watch. Even during in the preparation also, this movie will going to motivate you, inspire you like anything. Okay, like you just note it down. This movie, Dead Poet Society, must watch that movie. Okay, now yt is equals to a into x of t. Sir, ये static होगा sir? Absolutely correct. This is a static system because the present instant of time. But if you look here, x of t t minus 5, सर ये तो स्टैटिक होगा ना. अगर हम y of 0 डालेंगे ना यहाँ पे, सो x of 0 प्लस x of minus 5 दे रहा है सर. x of minus 5 दे रहा है, तो minus 5 क्या प्रेजेंट इनपुट है क्या? ओ, ये प्रेजेंट इनपुट नहीं है. क्लियर? सो दैट इज व्हाई इट इज अ डायनामिक सिस्टम. Always remember crystal clear clarity में, because only if it is giving you present input, then only it is a static. So this is a static. You can see clearly this is static. Look here carefully. What is this? Whether it is a dynamic or static. X of t is depending. Response is depending on the present input. If you put t, it is depending on a present on input. Also depending on some past input also, because upper limit minus lower limit होता है ना. So that is why this will be dynamic. Clear? One very important point I forgot to tell you, that static is only depending on present input. So it is So it is a memory-less system. But always remember, dynamic system has memory. Clear this concept? So we can also say it has memory and it doesn't have memory. Okay, you can say in this way, it doesn't have memory, it doesn't have memory, and it has memory. With this, I think we're done with today's lecture. In the next video lecture, we'll get into time invariant and time variant systems. So keep watching Jill, do subscribe to our channel, share with your friends, and please like this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next lecture. Till then, bye.